So if you've been on YouTube for very long, then you know that it takes consistent quality content to grow your channel. However, that's kind of easier said than done, right? Especially when you think about work, family, school, all the other responsibilities that we have. Putting out consistent YouTube content can be very challenging. So in this video, I'm breaking down some tips and some strategies to help you stay more consistent on YouTube, no matter what season of life you're in. Coming up. Hey, what's up? Sean here with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do a lot of tech gear and camera reviews, as well as strategy videos, just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So one of the questions we get the most here from the Think Media community is, Sean, how do you actually stay consistent when you have a lot of responsibilities in your life? So we actually put together an entire free YouTube masterclass that's all about increasing your clarity, boosting your productivity so you can stay consistent, and knowing the best strategies so you can grow with video faster. And actually, we're about to cut over right now to just the consistency training. So let's actually go to that training right now, and then I'll see you right after the content. Number two, low consistency. Here's what I mean by low consistency. Of course, post frequency. How often are you posting online? But also content consistency. It's similar to number one. If you're reviewing a movie in one video and the next one you're talking about how to invest cryptocurrency, it's inconsistent content. So consistency, and then message consistency. So how often you're posting, the kind of content you're posting, and then the messaging in your content. And so I love this quote from Barbara White that says, building trust is a process. Trust results from consistent and predictable interaction over time. Let's hang on this for a second. Predictable interaction. That's your goal with your content. When people encounter you online right now, are they getting a predictable interaction with you? Or when they see you, are you talking about one thing one day, another thing the next day, another thing the next day, and people, again, they don't even know where you're going. How can anybody follow you if they don't know where you're going? So what you want to create is a predictable interaction. You want to become the go-to person for something predictable. Now, this is also kind of scary because it might feel limiting. I mean, shoot, I have a lot of things I could put in my bio. I could say, father of two chihuahuas, Sophie and Rosie. I could say, avid book reader. I could also say, maybe speaker or consultant. I don't even say those things. I am those things. I'm doing those things, but I really limit it down online because I want that clear messaging. And then when people come to me, that it always ties into a predictable interaction. What's the predictable interaction you want to have with people? And by the way, you don't just have to do this for how-to. Maybe the predictable interaction is it's always funny, or it's always energetic, or it's some type of an entertainment channel. That's fine. But what you want is you want it to be predictable. Again, we turn on The Office with Jim and Michael Scott and Pam and Dwight Schrute because we expect to laugh. We want some dry humor. We think it's going to be funny. If we turn on The Office and all of a sudden it's CSI Miami, we're like, what, dude, that was not, it's way different. I don't want crime. I don't want to try to solve it. I want to watch some Office. A predictable interaction with the promise that you make, your value proposition. Is this helping? Let me know in the comments. And here's another encouraging key. Over time, YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. And so if you've been doing this for 2 weeks and you're discouraged with the results, friend, I got to tell you, it's going to take more time. Even if you've been doing it for maybe months or years, it is a marathon and not a sprint. And my question is, have people been getting a predictable interaction for you that entire time? One pitfall that a lot of creatives and entrepreneurs fall into is we get bored. Isn't it true? We get bored. And so we shout the same thing. We do the same thing for a year. If it doesn't work, then we're like, you know what? Let's switch it up. The problem is, and there is times to pivot. There is times to switch it up. But the problem is now you're just building momentum. You're just getting momentum with saying the same thing, the same message. By the way, don't just echo yourself. That could be boring, but like the same messaging, a consistent theme when people encounter you. When you build that out over time, eventually you might be called what I was called on a recent snowboard trip recently. And it was kind of cool because we're with a huge group of people and people were giving me a nickname. They're like, hey, YouTube, come over here. Oh, it's the video guy. Hey, video guy, come over here. That's a good thing. If they're saying like now your messaging's breaking through when you become the go-to girl or the go-to guy for a predictable interaction, that is where your power is. And so a question for you when it comes to consistency is, how often are you posting right now? Let me know in the comments. How often are you posting right now on YouTube? Tell me. And I just want to go through just a basic plan. This is what I would say. You're on this because you want to grow with video in 2018. And so here's a basic plan that I think would lead to success. And that's one video a week. Our goal is one video a week. And you might be already doing more than that. You might not be up to that yet. I encourage you to try to get there. Just because here's what's interesting. YouTube's a marathon, not a sprint. A mistake I see some people make is they actually post too much and they burn out. I would much rather you post a weekly show for the next 24 months than post, that would be 24 months, 2 years, that'd be 104 videos. Then do like 6 months of like tons and tons of videos, but then be so burnt out that you just hit a wall. Make it sustainable, make it predictable, make it something that you could sustain, and one quality video a week. And the consistency power tip here is batch producing, batching content. So meet Crystal. Crystal is living with her family in Texas. She's a wife, mother, she's a pastor, she's building her influence online. And her goal was to impact more people, but also generate some side income for her family on YouTube. So she launched a channel, and it's just her name, Crystal Sparks, and it's leadership and like faith-based content on a weekly basis. And after going through some of our training and courses, she really honed in on this process. What she does is she does one shoot day per month, just one shoot day a month, right? So it's like 4 videos here. She does 4 videos per shoot. And that means 12 shoot days a year. In a way, like how cool would it be to only turn your camera on 12 days a year? Pretty cool, right? It's possible from batching, right? You set up a shoot day this coming Saturday, and not even a whole day, like just the morning, right? You plan out your content, you set up, you shoot 4 videos all in one sitting, and then you only release 1 video a week. And that's what she's done. And here's the thing. She's built not even a large audience, not tons of subscribers, not thousands of views, even if some of her videos do pretty well, but like she'll get like hundreds of views. But what's amazing is by putting out, again, a clear vision, a clear message, clarity, and by being consistent, not being crazy, posting but just boom, once a week, predictable, adding value to a group of people, building a community. Trust is built over time, right? She's been doing that. And because of multiple streams of income, she's generated thousands of dollars for her family, whether that's doing live events or digital products, or she wrote a book, a couple other things that she's done. Leveraging YouTube, she's been crushing it because of being consistent, not just with her posting and using batching, but also with her messaging, right? And I just want to encourage you, work smarter, not just harder. And it reminds me, like I originally got started in church doing video production as a volunteer. Eventually they hired me on. And I remember this season of my life when I first met with my wife, I got married, and maybe you can relate to being crazy busy, right? I was also waiting tables at Red Robin to pay the bills. She was working jobs. I'm volunteering at the church, then I'm part-time there, still waiting tables. And so I remember when I first started posting Think Media videos, and this is funny, right? I actually put my laptop over here because I thought it would be like a cool 77-inch screen behind me. At least that's what I envisioned in my mind, not realizing it would just be like this tiny, like unreadable screen. Anyways, that's the first video on Think Media. You can look it up. And, just pumping out videos. And then I would maybe shoot a video, and I got in my car. This is me. That was actually the angle. The angle never changes. I don't know why my face is where the laptop is. That was like the second video on Think Media, or the third. But I would just do whatever I could to get videos done on a consistent basis. You cannot compromise on your consistency. I was committed to the consistency. And so I just mounted my phone on my dashboard and talked about my best tips for building a video editing PC, right? And so use batch producing, put in the work, but you gotta be consistent. You don't have to have it take over your life. Crystal has figured that out. By putting some smart systems in her life, she's able to do this in a sustainable way, generate good income for her family, and have a ton of fun while doing it. And I love this quote from Bruce Lee that says, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. Man, that's like the perfect quote for YouTube, because it's all about just slow and steady over time versus a sprint that burns you out. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that portion of the training, and I would love your feedback in the comments below. And actually, if you want to watch the entire free YouTube masterclass that snippet of training came out of, you can just go to tubemasterclass.live, or we'll post a link to it in the description below. For a limited time, you can catch the full replay while it's up, so check it out soon. Question of the day is, how many videos are you currently posting per week on YouTube? Or what is your goal of how often you'd like to post on YouTube? Let me know in the comments section below. So thanks for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. And if you want to watch that free YouTube masterclass, just click or tap the screen right there. For another video from Think Media, click or tap the screen right there. Until next time, Think Media is bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.